Big champion for a reason. Cannot get comfortable around this offense.
I don't think anyone looks comfortable right now. we got so much in the line. We don't want to block
There's
around the ball.
There's a bed on screen,
open up
and nobody is comfortable.
That's, you know, I could have said better myself. Yeah, I know. I love what you just said.
Oh, wait, it's guaranteed. No burst. And just like that, it's neck and neck. And Red that was offered with a decision. Do you burst? Oh,
well,
no.
We know we throw. Are we killing? We are!
Is Bedman busted? Bedman has been kinda running this show as of late. Looking at Evo Japan, you had a Bedman in top 8 and was fantastic to watch. Looking at the biggest online event of the year, baccpabrawl 200, absolutely love commentating it. We had a Bedman in top 8 and may I recommend? Totally worth watching. It was a great show. It was by far one of the best ever shows that we did. Thus today's video. Bedman has been doing very well in terms of offline and online results, so it's worth asking the question, is he busted? Expect to see your opinions talking about the character. Be sure to actually check out the video beforehand so you know my views on it rather than just assuming. There's been many cases like that on the channel recently. I'm going to lay down some arguments on how it can be perceived as a top tier character. I want this video to be done a lot sooner, but I got distracted with Leon Must Die Forever. This is a really fun game mode, genuinely. I would like to do content on it, but this would be so random for the channel. But let's talk positives. Catching Bedman in neutral can be very awkward unless you're running the right character to catch him. Playing a character like Ram or maybe Axel, it can be very easy to actually deny a lot of the air and ground control that Bedman can represent. Being able to challenge the projectiles is also a massive deal for dealing with this character, and as we can see, if you're not able to challenge these projectiles, Bedman's able to stall to an effective degree until they're able to build that barometer. Enhanced error can also make neutral a bit harder to catch, as the enhanced error options give such a good reward on hit and on block that it allows Bedman to get in. And during offense, it just makes it even better if you could get this going with meter. It's a fantastic tool to use. Any of these enhanced error tools are just fantastic for doing exactly what you need, getting in or running offense. High health is an odd strength to talk about because it's only as good as you are as a player. With Bedman, if you get good enough at natural defense, your high health will become a natural positive to the character, as not many people are good at abusing high health characters. Being able to tank a couple more hits so you can build up that barometer, being able to actually block out for small interaction cash outs can actually lead to massive interactions where Bedman is over the top despite getting hit a bunch. With meter, Bedman is able to get in off of many a tool. Using Beyblade RC is fantastic, and if the Beyblade hit, you're able to run Oki using JS and the follow-up error from the S error. It's very good on reward, and with meter it's just fantastic because if it's blocked you still get to run that offense with the S error and delay a H error afterwards from what I remember. Projectiles are also great for getting in because as soon as you have a delayed error that's going to come out that's enhanced, you have a means to get in. The enhanced electricity is fantastic for getting in as it is a guard crush that is very plus, allowing for Bedman to get in and run some fuzzy offense. And 2H is a fantastic normal for getting in as well. As a multi-hit and low, it's not easy to defend against it as you have to block it for every hit. And with meter, you can set up some nasty tools like doing 2H into Beyblade into PRC. It allows you to build for an error to follow up and a block string to the corner. Bedman's neutral is difficult to catch, and you mix that with the get-ins, it allows Bedman a lot of opportunities to go in and run offense, and that is where Bedman is at their best. Now pressure is a whole different topic. This is a full-on talking point, because as Reza was saying to me, probably the top 2 pressure in the game. So many avenues to keep running block strings, and with all your error follow-ups and with meter, it doesn't stop. While the errors are on screen, you have multiple avenues to keep going for low or overhead, and your JH is one of the nastiest overheads in the game. Being able to do jump into heavy or doing the jump air dash heavy allows you to stagger a multi-hitting overhead where you can cancel into landing and go for a low, or delay it with a JD leading to another overhead. Point being, this is a fantastic tool for anti-fuzzy scenarios. Fuzzies on defense allow you to block multiple things at once, but when it comes to multi-hits, that kind of goes out the window, as it messes up the natural rhythm for a fuzzy defense situation like doing the overhead into low. In this case, you need to block the overhead until it's done, so if you go and block the low a little too early, you get clipped by the overhead. And with the error follow-ups, the reward gets much higher, and mix that with the fact that if Bedman is wrong, it's still Bedman's turn to make offense happen, even off of an incorrect play. One of the best ways to escape Bedman pressure is to mash. You're encouraged to mash to get out of a ton of these scenarios, as some of them them are indeed fake. But with the way air follow-ups work and the way that they know the timing and you don't, you really need to lap this out, it can be difficult to gauge when to mash. If it is an enhanced error, the reward will be very high if you mess up on that mash. If you get counter hit, you're going to lose so much health. So offense is good as they have many anti-defense fuzzy tools to beat you. So if you go for a usual fuzzy defensive thing, you're going to get caught. And they have many ways to loop it. So if you don't challenge correctly, it'll go on and on and on and on. And if they land the hit, oh boy, that's the next step. Damage is high on this character. Bedman is very good at turning that health bar into mush. They're very good at turning that grey into red. That is one of the issues that you need to be cautious about. In the corner, if you get caught, that's a ton of damage. If there's a super in the bag, that's a ton of damage. And that's one of the more scary things about Bedman. Not only can he play neutral in an awkward manner where you need to kind of call them out, but at the same time run offense, and it's weird because a lot of the air dashing and the way the projectiles work. If you don't catch them, they're in. And once they're in, they go wild, they go crazy, and it's a little bit difficult to call out. And if you get caught for trying to call them out, the damage is high. The flow of the game can be purely dictated by how Bedman wants to play with or without meter, or with or without the health advantage. But that's only for specific matchups, I would say. And if Bedman wants to make all of these things much more scarier, we've got the bed install. The bed install gives Bedman multiple avenues to keep doing that offense that they love doing. Except there's one caveat. If the error follow-up comes out, it is all counted as a super tool. What does this mean? Super tools, when they break the wall, lead to hard knockdown. So if you get caught by an error follow-up, you go through. It means that if Bedman is hit when these tools are active, they don't disappear. So if Bedman has a head bomb that is coming out as you hit them with a 2p, you better block instantly, because if it is a 2D, you're going to get whiff punish, and if it's a 2p, you can at least block in time, but it's now Bedman's turn. These are awkward interactions that you really do not want to play into and lead to Bedman's steamroll potential if you block or get caught by any of these. And the reward on throw is super good, as Bedman has the error follow-ups. If Bedman has an error follow-up on throw, they're able to get a ton of damage and even combo in some niche scenarios. If you got caught by a Beyblade play and they used their jump in to start offense and then threw you, they were going to catch you with the error follow-up. And that error follow-up would lead to death in some scenarios in an unburstable situation. Not fun to be in. That is all the key positives to playing Bedman. As you can tell, it can be scary once you get caught in neutral, and it can be scary once he gets offense going, because the offense is the best thing about Bedman. But there are some issues that Bedman come across that can make it very difficult to play the character. First step is that defense can be very rough. As we mentioned, Bedman has high health, but that's it. On defense, your super is slow, so it's a little hard to use as a defensive mash callout, as you'll get caught a lot of the time if they do a safe jab. Next issue comes to your mash tools. Characters with good mash tools are able to get out of a ton of scenarios like Angie 2P. Bedman does have a very good 2P for mashing out against linear plays, but it's not good as a goalless 2P, for example. It'll lose to a lot of jump-ins and can even be 6P'd or low-profiled in some niche scenarios. It's a good mash tool, but it's super linear. Using this correctly requires a lot of good patience and understanding, and a lot of Bedmen need to get over that. Losing matchups is an issue that a lot of characters need to deal with, and Bedman has their fair share of losing matchups. If it's characters that have any form of out neutral or can play area neutral to a very solid degree, Bedman has a difficult time fighting those characters. Ramlethal can pose a very difficult challenge using a ton of JS's and grounded slashes. Bedman has a difficult time getting in. You can only really use 6P to counter a lot of these grounded tools, and in the air, you kinda just lose it. JS is a great tool, but it has a long startup compared to something like a Ram JS. And don't even get me started on Axel. Losing White Wild Assault was one of the biggest nerfs to Bedman in that matchup, meaning a lot of zoning scenarios that Axel could set up is fully guaranteed and unchallengeable in a lot of scenarios. Any characters that can out-neutral Bedman can essentially win it very well. It's all about how much they can chunk away at the health afterwards, because if they have to kill you in 8 interactions, that's 8 defensive interactions for the Bedman to try and escape. And finally, the characters that do well at stopping Bedman's airplay are also very strong in the matchup. Potemkin is one of the best examples of this in the matchup. as // covers the angle that they want to jump in, 5H covers a ton of the grounded angles, 6H can also cover a ton of angles that they want to go about, Flick can counter projectiles, so playing to the air won't necessarily get you out of anywhere, and Heat Tackle just stops stalling. Potemkin is one of the best neutral counters alongside Axel to this character. Bedman needs to play someone that can out-neutral them, out-damage them, and out-approach them. Bedman has a very difficult time. Bedman is a character that is definitely going to be seen a ton in the current meta, as they are strong. Specific matchups, you will not be seeing them do as well as you'd expect. That's it for today's video. In my mind, I think Bedman might be a top 15 character, definitely in the upper half of the stronger members of the cast. Specific matchups holding them back is an issue, as a lot of these matchups are very strong characters. Ramp, Potemkin and Axel are still very strong characters in this meta, and characters that can do what they do also perform well against the character. So it's difficult. It's difficult to gauge, because matchups are a huge part in what gauges how a character does. But overall, fun character to watch, and I look forward to seeing how they get on. Aegis was a fantastic Bedman in baccpabrawl 200, and I want you to check that out. It was honestly a great tournament. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like, sub and hype, and tell me what you think about Bedman. I would love to hear what you think. Do you think that he's a top tier? Do you think he's a low tier? Do you think he's a mid tier? Who knows? Well, that's gonna be it for today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.